news to you all, for Friday has landed on us one more time. And that means it's time to settle down after a long week of RPGing our balls off. Chrono Trigger finished, Knights of the Old Republic, well balls deep into that. And that's all good, man. That is all good. The Guild Great Vault, not a Guild Vault, dispensed us yet again disappointment. Oh, the sadness reigns supreme. Finn has re-rolled. He's got a new guild. Half my guild is gone now, if not more of them have moved on into greener pastures. And we wish them all the best in the sadness of WoW. But yet, the secrets of 9.0.5, the secret crafting system that we were so fortunate to find on our little adventure that we took during the week on Wednesday. And we find out. What's Finn re-rolled to? A Shadow Priest. Yes. He has joined the Shadowy Boys. He believes in the rise of the Shadow Priest once more. He believes it's going to become everything he needs to become a godlike gamer and live the dream. Indeed. First live drama. Welcome to all of you for your first time drama. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come to the shadow side. Hey, more PIs for me, right? Imagine a world where Finn, the elitist, shares his PI. Undoubtedly a lie. It would never happen. But this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, it's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. Love hearts, chocolates, flowers, cards, delicious things will all be being passed around. And I'm sure many of you watching right now are sending out your secret Valentines to those crushes. Megan Fox. He's sending them all out, right? Alexandria Daddario. This is the time to strike, guys. This is the time to strike. They will understand it. Remember, get your tier 3 subs ready. We're going to send them all out. Beverly Crusher. Beverly Crusher. I'm sending mine to Marina Sirtis and Karen Gillan and Gillian Anderson. Yeah, baby. Easy win. Emma Watson's getting a Valentine's. I bet they do. I almost guarantee that they do get a shitload of Valentines on Valentine's Day. I actually do think they do that. But thankfully, having just opened drama here, Bex has saw fit to make us a Valentine's Day special. And it comes with a message. Hi, Mike. It's Valentine's Day on Sunday. I have put together some stories that explore the best of love, romance, and friendship. Enjoy. Oh, I would send a Valentine's to Henry Cavill. That wouldn't even bother me at all. I would definitely send a Valentine's to Henry Cavill. But my PC is better than his, so unlucky, Cavill. Not that super, am I? It starts off here with, am I a bad friend? Is this something, Bex, that the wonderful jury of our audience would need to cast judgment on? Am I a bad friend? I wonder. It's alright. Chris's PC is better than mine, so when it arrives, she's never. Joke's on you. We have two names here. Guilty. Okay. All right. Bex says yes. Yes. This is something that needs our judgment. Our fair and just ruling system of the Preach Gaming community, who have brought nothing but peace and prosperity across the World of Warcraft community via their impartial and straight-edge judgments. You are indeed the reliance. There are thousands upon thousands of people across World of Warcraft who rely on this live audience here to decide whether or not they are to be judge worthy. My camera's slightly wonky. I feel like I'm off center. You know what I mean? Don't I? I look a bit off center. Let me see if I can fix real quick. Do. Press the buttons. Oh, I'm right on the edge. Interesting. I think our camera has moved ever so slightly. Oh well, whatever. I'll fix it another time. It's more than fine for this. Okay, let us begin. We have two names here, Aurelius and Kazrak. Greetings and salutations, Preach. I require your jury. I absolutely love drama time. Okay. All right, you're already tickling balls. And I can't stop binge watching your videos. It's a delight. And your videos are wonderful to have in the background while I play the game we all love and cherish, that World of Warcraft. After working up some courage to pass my shyness, I come to you all seeking aid. Okay, so you were too shy to send me a story, and then you asked for judgment. Fair enough. I come to you now, seeking aid and opinions. You see, I play on a heavy populated role player's realm. Oh my god. I've only been here for a year. And while I've made a great many wonderful friends and had the time of my life, I find that it is not easy to avoid becoming balls deep in drama. Whether it be my own drama or other people's drama. No matter how hard you try, it is always there, lurking and waiting. Now, to avoid getting super long-winded and lengthy and take up too much time, I'll try to summarize the situation for you. And what I would absolutely adore is if your audience could give unbiased opinions on this. One of the friends I've made during my year on this server, Aurelius, and I engaged in roleplay that involved having our characters romance each other. They went on dates, ERP did happen, that sort of thing. It was fun, but the writing was lackluster. It couldn't get me fully immersed. For the most part, I just enjoyed the company. And the character I was developing. However, it was soon apparent to me that was all Aurelius wanted from me. Just wants me for my RP. Doesn't care about me as a person. You see, I enjoy all sorts of themes and topics. Dark and horrific, unsettling and creepy, brutal combat, things that make you cry both in sorrow and happiness. And laughter, IRL. Writing a variety of things is fun as hell. And what I intended on getting into when I rolled on this server. It's why I was there. Too much of a single topic just gets stale, straining, and just plain boring after a while. Aurelius knew this. And many of our attempts to move into more serious topics, aside from the characters echo chambering how much they loved each other and bumping bits together, all met with failure. Things only changed when I made a new friend. One whose writing synced up beautifully with my own. Between us, we created poetry. That was Krazak. Not only was he super cool and fun to talk to over Discord messages for hours, the writing was jam-packed. It had action, rivalry, comedy, sorrow, and so much more. Some of this writing involved the character Aurelius was romancing with. I took this as an opportunity to finally split those characters up. I felt bad, of course, but I was free, and I didn't have to worry about it anymore. At least that's what I thought. I started getting messages on Discord a couple of weeks later from Aurelius, complaining that the relationship just ended too abruptly. He was still, reeling from it. His character, not him, mind, but his character needed closure. The story needed a conclusion. His character needed this closure so his character could move on. Reluctantly at this, I agreed to a meeting, knowing it probably wouldn't go well. My character was going through a story arc at that point where he would be prone to violent outbursts due to becoming a primal warrior. A primal, according to the lore, for those of you uninitiated, is often feared as an individual who is prone to massive fits of violent anger and unpredictable behaviours. But the trade-off, of course, great power. And being more in tune with a beast spirit or a lower in the case of the trolls. Aurelius' character was a known shitlord who loved to push people's buttons and ask questions later. It wasn't written in the stars, my friends. Our characters' personalities and lore were just at odds. It was not going to end well. And it didn't end well at all. It ended violently. I had to call a stop to the RP early to prevent it getting more uncomfortable than it already was. Still, Aurelius wanted yet another meeting after my character calmed down. I told him I wasn't feeling up to it, but we would see. A full week of silence. I get another message from him over Discord once again asking for another meetup. Exasperated, I told him no, I don't want to do it again and risk another repeat of the last RP, which he admitted had made him uncomfortable too. He assured me that this time his character would be on his best behaviour. and was just in character too depressed to press any buttons again. After a few minutes of thought, I finally relented and said, sure, okay, but this will be our last RP session. It started off awkward. We roleplayed two exes meeting up, which usually is awkward. Not long into the roleplay, Aurelius' character made attempts to coerce my character into spending a day or two together. Nothing romantic. No smutty action. Just two people being friends after a relationship. My character refused. He was done. I was done. He continued to press more and more. Just one more chance. Just let him see if we could handle this new version of his ex-lover, and would walk away if he felt he would be attacked again. That's when the panic attack began to set in. I felt ignored, pushed aside, and cornered. I voiced this in party chat, which we formed mostly just to find each other in Bastion. Oh god, you've given me voices? Oh, fuck you, Bex. Hey, yeah, by the way, though, okay, so I'm just gonna, like, have him walk off. I'm not feeling, like, comfortable out of characterly. I'm actually, like, starting to panic a little bit about where this is going. And in true roleplay fashion. In the immersion of how it was supposed to be. Out of character. Aurelius typed F. Yeah, he said. This is just a tense, sad situation. I just stared at my friend's character bouncing around. No, I said. I really mean, like, you're, like, hassling me and pushing me to do things that I really don't want to do. I don't like it one bit. I'm calling it a day. I'm out. I'm walking away. There was no reply. No acknowledgement whatsoever. Just continually talking about how he wanted them to try just one more time, please. We can work through this. I hate how our relationship ended. Upset as I was, I just did the only thing necessary. Logged the fuck out. This guy, Aurelius, we spent so many months forming a decent friendship, and I was actually surprised he was acting like this. Normally, he was a good listener. And overall, a nice dude. I needed a couple of days to decompress. Think things through. And a mutual friend of ours, one of my best friends on this server, and a great role player himself, brought him up in idle chat while we were waiting in queues for some battlegrounds. I felt the beginnings of a panic attack thinking about him again, hearing about him again. And I spilled the beans on what had happened. They at least apologized that I went through something like that and gave me virtual hugs and words of support. And promised that they wouldn't bring them up again to prevent me feeling some kind of way. That was it. This had to stop. I sent Aurelius a message on Discord telling him I declined his character's offer. And that I didn't want to roleplay the two characters together ever again. I wanted to take a break from roleplaying entirely with them for a while. Especially in romantic themes. Aurelius said he was sorry to hear that. And sad that if our previous pair weren't together anymore, they saw no other reason that we should roleplay together. Creating a new story with new characters was lame and boring, and not something he wanted to do. I made a snide remark. Oh, so you just want romance RP. I get it. I thought you wanted more than just that. I want more than that. Too much romance is boring, he swore to me. I thought back to all the times I had seen him around, which was actually easy. Anytime he was online, it was to RP with a particular character and their partner. Leveling? Nope. PvP? Nope. PvE? Never heard of it. If he did make a new character, he had absolutely no issue having them meet a friend's single character and spend time with them in hopes of getting into a relationship with that character for some sweet, sweet ERP. I've tried having other characters meet them in the past that weren't single and available. Uninterested. Indifferent. He acted cold towards them. He would tab away. Or into different consoles. A few minutes later, I bring in a single character just to see what happens. And suddenly, ooh, hello, ladies. I relayed all this to Krazak for clarity in setting up a scene as to why my character was suddenly distressed and distracted. And they confessed that one of Aurelius' characters, one portrayed as innocent, shy, antisocial, ended up spending a few hours with his characters that had resulted in yet more ERP. After they had only met that day. I told my friend what Aurelius had told me about the character in question, and he laughed. That's not how he acted when he was with me. A couple of days later, another character of mine was hanging out with one of my friends in the Valley of Honor. And lo and behold, not a few minutes later, Aurelius logs into his new character, catches sight of us. After some out-of-character banter between Krazak and Aurelius, they and I go into RP. Let us begin the session. Aurelius, the same person who finds character introductions boring, weighs up both our character profiles. He notes that both of them are single. So what happens then? Aurelius slicks back his hair. This guy who swore he hated introductions and had no reason to RP with me anymore now that our character pairing had split, walks on over, /sits, and politely introduces himself to our characters. My friend noticed the change in how I responded in character and made an excuse for our two characters to wander off. We're going on an adventure. There was no hope. It wasn't long after that I had to make the ultimate decision. Aurelius was off the BattleNet. I removed him as a Discord friend. This all happened about 3 or 4 weeks, almost a month ago maybe. And I still feel like shit. I feel like I overreacted. I feel like the friendship we had despite it and didn't want to bring stuff happening roleplay to our out-of-character stuff. I didn't want to lose a friend over something so trivial. But at the same time, I felt disrespected, lied to, worthless in Aurelius' eyes. I asked both of my RP team if I was wrong. They said no. I asked my husband and he said no. However, a part of me feels like I'm being told I wasn't wrong because of bias. Even though I know one of my friends would not hesitate to tell me to cut and dry if I was being fucking stupid. My question to you, preacher of the jury. Am I a bad person? Was I a bad friend? Should I reach out to them, make things work? Despite being made to feel like nothing I said mattered for the sake of e-cock. Thank you for taking the time to read. Okay, I'm no RPer. Tried it. Can't get into it. That's fine. But what I will say is if somebody's hassling you to have RP sex only to the point where you're having panic attacks, maybe don't bother with that guy anymore. That's all I'm going to say, right? I mean, I feel like that's the end point on that one. I feel like that's where it comes to an end. I feel like you leave it there. I think in the order of the judgment, we look upon your guy who was just chasing that sweet, sweet E-loving, and we declare him guilty as charged. Even in RP, no means no. You back it up. And I totally can gather that there are a lot of RPers out there who are just looking for some ERPs. Unguilty. Okay, here we go. Zoltri says, as someone who's RP for 12 years, your friend is cringe. Rule 1, fantasy and reality is divided. If people can't respect that, they aren't worth the time. Well, there you go. There you go. I've got an expert witness in the chat. An expert witness. And I'll say, oh my God, what is this? Okay. All right, judgment is declared. What in the fuck is this, Bex? Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you created an RP nightmare for me? The tale of the samurai. Oh my God. Samurai and the squire. Do samurais have squires? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Do the voices? Oh my God. Alright, who have we got? We got Tishman Oh, and of course, our Squire for this story will be Hunted Wumpus. Woof woof indeed, Benjamin Pup. Woof woof indeed. Tishman and Hunted Wumpus. The famous Squire, Hunted Wumpus. You are a cruel person. Okay. I'm assuming this is roleplay related. Holla ballers and a brofist to you all. I bring you this story upon the very eve of finals, and I should probably be starting my review already. But screw it! I have a backstory to tell you. I am 15 years old. I am still in high school. I have played World of Warcraft for 7 years, since the breaking of the world. Indeed, I am a cataclysm spawn. But whatever. This story takes place outside of World of Warcraft. It is time to leave World of Warcraft. Oh god, where are we going? Because BFA is the worst trash I have ever seen. Now, keep in mind, I am a raider. I have achieved ahead of the curve a Gahuni. Fuck all dear. But even I refused to play BFA. My guild agreed as well. And together they built... Yes, the furry love nest that is Final Fantasy XIV. What are you guys playing in this shit? Now, I know what you're thinking, Mike, that we must be a bunch of fucking weebs. But we're not. We're nerds. Well, I'm the lore nerd who will spend months doing the story when everyone else just grinds out levels and buys skips and such. But that's not important. What was important was that we left behind the empire that we had created and went over into a brand new world. I remember logging in for the first time and actually being very impressed. But those are stories not worthy of telling, of course. The game stands on its own. The story starts a bit after the main RP of the company had picked up. It's role-playing in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. The story starts. Let me introduce you to our douchebag samurai, Tishman. Now, he's not really a douchebag. I just named him this because it's a meme in the guild. Douchebag. It all started with the most hilarious duel I've ever had the pleasure of participating in. In character, of course. The samurai had a hat on. A rather fancy dapper hat at that. My character, who's the biggest nerd I've ever made, instantly swung a sword towards the strap. Ha-ha! This was a mistake. Instantly after, the samurai shoved it in her face and slowly began the process of beating the shit out of my character for disturbing the head covering. Out of character, I was laughing my ass off. Who would have lost a duel because of a fucking hat? After the duel was lost, the samurai started insulting my character's entire family, which went on, mostly ignored, until he said her mother was a whore. That doesn't sound like something a samurai would say. Now, my character didn't take too kindly to this, to which she responded by sending the death stare. Ooh. There was intense raging between the two. Death stares in capital letters. The death stare. Got him. There was an intense raging between the two, and this would become the start of a story arc that went on for months. Okay, so let's bear in mind, no matter where we're going in the story, because I have no idea either, it begins with a hat. It begins with a hat. There was hair pulling. There was dueling, and the samurai even lost a whole hand of fingers. It was in brackets. That was an unintentional mistake on my character's part, but there was a twist. You see, during casual roleplay, my character and the samurai were walking together, and our guild master, Hunted Wumpus, makes the comment out of character of, "Seeing you together makes me ship you both." Now, part of me actually agreed. They would have made a cute couple if it weren't for the fact that the samurai was, well, in character, edgy as hell. It began as an offhand confession, a random chance, and some blushing here and there. It was the samurai's job to train my character at the time. Oh my god, are you the... Oh no. Are you the squire? You cut the fingers off your master? It was the samurai's job to train my character at the time in the ways of battle and fighting. As my character's backstory meant they were literally fresh off the farm. The next day, the samurai confronted her with 3 fatal words. I love you. That was rapid, wasn't it? I didn't reply. After a bit of explanation, the samurai tenderly kissed my character on the cheek and went on his way. And I went back to the enjoyable leveling and enjoying the story. Now, this would only serve to escalate the conflict, as the samurai story, despite knowing everything, was still not kind to her. It was decided soon after that Hunted Wumpus would teach her the ways of the sword and shield. This is around the time that the traumatized teenage Squire girl joined the fray. Oh no, this is somebody else. This is around the time that the traumatized teenage girl joined the fray. Not an important character until later, but it all came to a head one night. Oh my god, you've got screenshots of the RP? I fucking hate you, Bex, so much. During casual RP, when my character ambush hugged the samurai while he was having a nightmare. During casual RP, when my character ambush hugged the samurai while he was having a nightmare and got thrown across the room, right as an officer walked into the bar, he raged at us and threatened us with a fate worse than death should this continue. Then Hunted Wumpus walked in, figured out quickly what was going on, and then continued to shame both of us. Both of our characters walked away in shame. My character, being a rather spoiled brat, went and cried away in her inn room because I wasn't rich enough with an apartment yet. Not much of importance happened until one day, when I had become a rich pleb with an apartment. Tishman walked in and announced he had the feels. I even have the screens of the whole chat. It's fairly long, but Mike let it flow. Green is me, white is Tishman. Knocking could be heard from the door as Chandler called out, Lexis. She jumps from her chair, throne. With a sigh, she gets up, grabbing the doorknob. Luckily, this is within her reach. Oh, Green is you. Oh, you aren't here to ruin my floor again, right? Hoo-hee! As the door opens, is it samurais called Chandler? Like Chandler Bing? As the door opens, Chandler walked in, offering Lectus a nod. I've come here with an offer, if you would care to hear it. Okay, so you RP what they're saying? I'm sorry. Alright, I'm not trying to ruin this. Some of the green text is what the other guy is saying. You can do that. You can RP what the other person is saying, because it's really... Okay. I'm just getting the rules in my head, right? I'm just getting the rules. No, you cannot. That's illegal. That's what's happening, right? There's green text here. It says here, green is me, white is Tishman, and green is saying stuff. All right, so... As the door opens, Chandler walked in, offering Lectus a nod. I've come here with an offer, if you would care to hear it. Oh, I'm a woman of reason, Chandler. Let's hear it. If you say so, shall we seat? Lectus beckons him over to her seating area. It is no secret that you have feelings for me, and when you admitted the truth, it ended badly. With recent events, I've decided it best if we change some of my ways. So some fears must finally be put to the past. Huh. She gave him a quizzical look. looking down as the memory resurfaced. You would be right in the assumption. You can't spell assumption. You've spelled it assumination, unless I'm wrong. Writing that assumination, is that right? Maybe I'm wrong. This, of course, will be up to you. I offer you a partnership. The details can be handled here so that both sides have a chance to set down rules. And of course speak if the rules on the table are acceptable to both parties. She looked at him, forcing back tears as more bitter memories resurfaced. Is this a dream? No, I don't believe so. A pinch would be a fitting test to see if it is or not. She could hold back no longer as she lightly pinched her cheek. She then proceeded to throw herself upon him, wrapping her arms around his huge chest and letting the tears flow. Lectis looked shocked panic, even as Lectis launched herself, hugging him. Unsure what to do, he lets out a sigh, closing his eye before patting Lectis on the back. There, he said in a calm but unsure tone. I thought you actually hated me. You just annoyed me. I'm sorry. For everything. I hate slavers and nobles and cause of royals, not you. And save those words for the next time you cut off a limb. For now, be happy. She smiled, tears fading from sorrow to joy in the blink of an eye. She closed her eyes. Thank you. Okay. That's some gripping RP. Lots of tears, lots of sorrow. Now, you might all be thinking, oh, that's sweet. I mean, is that what we're thinking? Oh, that's sweet. No. I wasn't thinking that. Okay. Oh, that's sweet, right? Wrong, because there's more. About a week later, we go to the office. A friend couldn't show, so it was just me and Tishman. And this is where... Oh, no! Oh, guys. He broke up with her. And he revealed they only got together because of guilt. Unreal. Unreal. Good God. This was my lost love. This was how he teased me and left me hanging. There are some parts I left out, Mike, but really, this was hilarious. It was so random. I'm waiting on 8.2 and I'm excited for summer. Wish me luck on my exams, and until next time, I will see you. And also, Final Fantasy is exactly like you think it is and full of weebs. But, surprisingly, it is not full of ERP. Oh, it is. I mean, did you listen to last week's drama? It is. It absolutely is. It... Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to move on from... Yeah, sure. You're just in the wrong parts. You're in the wrong parts. God. I have yet to read, and this isn't a challenge, by the way. I know the role players hang out here. This isn't a challenge, but I have yet to read, and maybe this is the result of Drama Time being my one and only source of reading RP. Good RP. I have yet to read any, under any circumstances. All right, some boys are about to get abused. Strap in, lads! Because I'm pretty sure you're about to get absolutely hardcore simped out to death. Simping to death. This is doing... I'm ready. I mean, I'm guessing based on the title that we're about to tier 3 the crap out of this. Milady. Red alert. Do we need to go to red alert? I'm excited. Oh God, it's gonna be. You think the RP story would be cringe, right? But you know it's gonna get so much worse. This is supposed to be for Valentine's Day. We're supposed to be encouraging the relationships, right? All right. Are these? I don't know. Clear the head. Hello and greetings from Team Sweden. I've been listening to Drama Time on and off for a year now, and I thought I should contribute to the steaming pile of stories. Let it flow? I don't want to. I don't want to let it flow. I started playing WoW when I was 6. 6 years old. My dad was a huge fan of Blizzard and played Warcraft once or thrice, and WoW up until the Cata. I was practically born into the Alliance and have never left those blue colours. As an old friend and ex of mine called Ithius eventually suggested to me that I should join the social raiding guild he was in. They were progressing normal mode raids and could use a healer like me. This guild was full of nice people who were raiding for fun and just for the social aspects of it. Our guild never progressed further than normal Mistress Sazine. It was simply too hard for our guild. If you were in one of these guilds, can you please, like, I'm 3 right now. I can be like this raiding merc. I could be a merc. We'll call it that so it doesn't sound like I'm just lonely and guildless. I could be a raid merc. I want to see a guild progressing normal mode. I need to see what it's like. I need to know what's happening. I was 16 when Tomb of Sargeras was still current content. I knew that I could go further than Mistress, and therefore I started pugging to kill more bosses. Like, I don't get that. You're in a guild, right? So you pug to kill more things. That blows my mind. You were in a guild of the same people. Yeah, it makes way more sense to play with utter randoms for progress. I do want to see it. I need to understand. I need to understand because that makes no sense. One night I was accepted into someone's semi-guild run. They had just killed the Sisters of Elune and needed a new healer. This meant I was not comfortable with the remaining bosses. The raid leader copy-pasted a Discord link for me to join. I joined and instantly muted my mic. I prayed for this to be a smooth run where I would not stand out and get kicked because of my healing and lack of boss experience. To my horror, I heard someone in the call say, "Hey, other paladin, are you an AoE or single target healer?" So you play the paladin, I guess, so they're asking you. "Hey, Arthur, are you an AoE or single target healer?" I didn't answer, and soon they were all asking me like the pack of seagulls in Finding Nemo. They called me out in raid chat and knew that I could not, and I knew I could not ignore their desperate need for an answer. I answered defensively with the lines of, "I play what I like." What does that even mean? What is this conversation? What the fuck? The other holy paladin was surprisingly not satisfied with my answer. He started whispering me in the pink, pestering me with talent questions. I tried my best to answer. I did not know what AoE or single target healing was at the time. But I kept my cool. You're upsetting me so much. I mean, you should know that. Like, even if you've never played World of Warcraft, you should know the answer to that question. You're really annoying me. You're like annoying me so much. This was age 16, right? Aren't we age 16 at this point? Okay. Despite my passive-aggressive answers, he answered me calmly and friendly. He told someone on Discord, "Yo, give me a summon. I need to change my talents," and halved out. Probably happy to avoid the trash. I do not remember how many bosses we managed to kill, but I had fun talking to that holy paladin called Snoonose. I also remember sending him a screenshot of a bugged wall trying to impress him. It wasn't my screenshot. It was one I found on Google. I ended up adding Snoonose to the BattleNet. Just keep going, guys. We're just pushing through at this point. We talked so much, in fact, that I even let him add me on Discord, and the friendship was official. Now, the author has included this picture. Can I put this in Twitch chat? I can. Okay. Okay, this is what this sentence reads, I swear to you. We talked so much, in fact, that I let him add me on Discord. The friendship was official. This picture. I learned about Snoo-Nose. He was 19, I was 16. He had a Labrador puppy. Oh, marriage is on the cards. We got a puppy? And the most important thing he reminded me multiple times was he had had sex with 28 different girls so far in his life. I mean, that's an important fact that you need to share very quickly. Like, almost immediately. Like, if you've got that banger up your sleeve, you need to get that out there fast. Right? Real fast. When he said this oh no, disaster! Oh, lads. The moment he said this, I made a mental note that he was not allowed to receive nudes, even if we started dating. Get wrecked, Snoo-Nose! Just talk yourself out some nudes, apparently. That's the cutoff. What is the official cutoff point, girls? What about 21? 16? Like, what's the number? Like, where it's no, that's it, you're out. He was telling me about his up-and-coming amazing career as a famous DreamHack player. A DreamHack player? I'm a DreamHack player. What does that mean? What the fuck? I'm gonna be a DreamHack player. Okay. Though he had left the part of his... he had given up on that part of his life before we started talking. Oh, he's left all that behind. Oh, okay. I couldn't care less about it at the time, hence I didn't even check if anything was real. It's not. It's not real, we can tell you. Snoo-Nose was really into PvP. He started to tell me about his 3v3 team, how they had a fallout due to the other two breaking up and now needed a brand new healer. He told me I was natural at healing in PvP and was surprised how well I performed, despite having never set foot in arenas before. If I trained more, his coach would probably be... His coach? Watch it bizarre you or something. If I only trained more, his coach would probably be happy to have me in the team. He's got a coach for his 3v3 team, dude. He's got a coach. Well, you don't become a DreamHack player without a coach. Are you guys dumb or just willfully ignorant? Because if you want to become the best DreamHack player in the world, you're going to need a coach. Alright? That's just science. I didn't want to PvP. Instead, he offered to put in a good word for me in his heroic mythic raiding guild. That Snoo-Nose would love to play with me in the raiding team. How fun I was to hang out with, and that I was so much better than the rest. I was flattered, of course. He really wanted to play with me after all. But I knew that the healing meters don't lie. And I, for one, didn't want to be the raider's girlfriend everyone funnels gear to. Side note, he did also offer to borrow an apartment borrow me one of his apartments if I ever wanted it. Oh my god. Why are you offering me all this? I asked him one day. Because I like you, Snoo-Nose responded. I was shocked, but responded with, you do know I would never date a guy that smokes. Ah, bummer. Before the chat judges me, I knew that he could just go find someone else that is okay with his smoking. After all, remember, he had already smashed 28 girls. That's fire right there. Woo! We're going to need some ointment on that one. Snoo-Nose told me that he would stop smoking for me. I hardly believed it. But to my surprise, he told me he did in fact stop smoking. You've never met him. What are you talking about? You fucking hell. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me step by step. Oh yeah, I just quit. Did you? Totally quit. Wow, he must really love me. And we did start e-dating off the back of that. I did the usual e-dating stuff a 16-year-old weeb at the time, which I am. Especially, oh god, this is a full-on sentence. I did the usual e-dating stuff a 16-year-old weeb at the time, brackets, with no dating experience did. I don't know what that is. All right. When you say the usual, I'm too boomer for it. I don't know. I kept saying things like, it's not like I like you or anything silly, or add dummy to an embarrassing sentence. Snoonos, of course, thought I was being really cute, which today, as I am the age he was, makes me wonder what the fuck is wrong with this. I like that you've grown enough to have a reflection on this. You're like, what a fucking idiot this guy was. Despite these weird things, our relationship was pretty fine. Pretty good, actually. At the start, he was, after all, the first okay-looking guy I'd dated, which made me pretty happy. Snoonos would not send me any pictures of himself nude, and I stuck to my own promise not to send him any nudes. We would video cam during the evenings, have a grand old time just purely looking at each other's faces, for some reason, as if it was the most entertaining thing in the world. Snoonos really cared about our relationship and he wanted to make it official. And one day he asked me if he could put in a relationship on his Facebook page. Shit, dude. That's big. That's big. Once Sark Fuckerberg knows you're in a relationship, it's all over from that point. Woo! I don't know, man. I don't think it even says in a relationship on my Facebook. Mainly because I've not used it in 7 or 8 years. He was sad that I didn't have a Facebook. Oh my god, she doesn't have a Facebook. And therefore, couldn't tag ourselves together for his family to see what a wonderful girl he had found. But he didn't push me on the matter. So people are going to call him a liar on the good book. Unlucky. As I got to know Snoonos better, he told me things that happened IRL. How his horrible parents didn't treat didn't treat his amazing Labrador as if it was the all-living being. How Snoonos refused to walk the puppy with a leash as if it actually cared about him yelling. Constantly. I heard every word he tried to tell that poor dog. The dog clearly did not. Before someone gets worried in the chat, he didn't hurt the dog. He just yelled at it a lot during walks. He treated that dog very well outside of walks. He even went as far as to send me a picture of him snuggling his dog while looking really emo with his hair. One day, Snoonos told me that his sister had kidnapped his car and trashed it with her friends. Kidnapped the car? Oh no! It's gonna be a ransom? I got mad myself, just as he was, and told him that he should tell her off and never let her use the trashed car again. But to my surprise, he turned around and started explaining to me that I should never tell him to do such rude things to his sister, because he cares about her very much. I didn't understand how I was the bad guy in this situation. There was a bright red flag waving in front of me, and understood that this relationship might not work out in the end. My tiny 16-year-old brain at the time thought it was better to stay in a bad relationship than to be not in a relationship. And that maybe this was just a one-time thing. There's no way there's Wincest in here. There's no way. I still raided while dating Snoonos. One night, I begged him to come join our raiding. The amazing difficulty of normal Tomb of Sargeras. He agreed since he had nothing better to do. Joined voice and was instantly welcomed by everybody. He was, after all, geared and not shit at raiding. My close friend at the time, Asaria, hit off with Snoonos well. Oh, shit. Cradle Snatcher. Which made me very happy. They had some things in common, same age, living in the same part of the country. Sometimes they would even stay up late at night talking on Discord, but Snoonos promised me he would never cheat on me. I believed him and didn't care much for it. What would a relationship be, ladies and gentlemen, without trust? Right? After all, he gave up smoking for her. He didn't do that for the other 28 girls he'd smashed already. Trust. Honesty. That's what it's all based on. A month into the relationship, Snoonos started acting differently. He'd become distant and stopped doing things we like doing together. He talked about how he'd maybe start a league career after his 3v3 team fell apart. Without batting an eye, I responded that he may want to do so now, but probably not at age 45. I didn't think much of it at the time. A week passed and we continued camming together at night, but he fully focused on gaming rather than me. At some points, he even told me that I might as well turn off my camera since he wasn't looking. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, that's cold, bro. That is ice cold. Holy shit. Yo, for real, you can turn your camera off. Like, I haven't even got it on. Fucking playing League. I asked him eventually one day, what's wrong, Snoo-Nose? He opened up and told me it had now been a year since his friend died. What? A friend of his that had one day drank a lot at a party and drove himself into an accident. Snoo-Nose claimed that he couldn't think of anything else other than this, since it was his fault for not stopping his friend from driving home at night. If this is true, I'm really sorry, but in the context of the story, I can't believe it. I was saddened to hear such a thing. It is horrible when a friend dies. Not that I, as a 16-year-old, had experienced it. I thought that Snoo-Nose would stop distancing himself from me now that we had shared. But it only got worse. I started chatting with my friends more, Flex the most. He was like a brother to me. We played a lot together since Snoo-Nose refused to spend time with me. Whenever I had doubts or needed to tell someone, I would DM Flex. Friend zone! Friend zone alert for Flex. I was barely talking to Snoo-Nose at the time. Don't you just love hearing about other people's relationship problems? It's the best. I was barely talking to Snoo-Nose at the end of the second month, and Flex helped me finally break up with him. It wasn't rough. I didn't feel much at all. Snoo-Nose did not all even care about me at this point, even though a 2-month relationship might have been a big deal for me. It was really just one okay month. This has all happened in a month? Wow. As I spent more time together with Flex, we got closer. I started developing feelings for him now. This was one of the dumbest things I've done. But alas, a guy that pays attention to a young teen girl with no social competence might as well be feelings, I guess. I don't know. Flex felt like a brother to me before that point. Not because of what some of the nice guys in chat may call a friend zone. Ah, shit. Busted. But because of the fact that Flex was 29 and I was 16. Flex didn't have a social life either. He dropped out of high school at 16 and since many years been a pensioner due to his chronically hurt back. Naturally, he would grow attached to me because I was the only girl in his life that paid him any sort of attention. Are you going to hurt this guy? I'm just thinking of what the title of this story is, and I feel like our boy Flex is about to get turbo wrecked. Before everyone calls the FBI on Flex, it is important to tell you that he never accepted an relationship with me because he was too much of a boomer to date someone online. It's not boomer to not have an relationship, right? Right? It's just called the way relationships work, right? That is not boomer, okay? That is not boomer by any means. Shut up. Shut up. Relationships IRL are not boomer, okay? Let's not go down that road or the fertility rate will literally drop out the floor. Feelings were mutual, but never really brought up. The only thing he would do was to make dumb, that's what she said jokes and so on. I knew very well that my mother would never approve of our relationship and therefore I wouldn't bother with it. It only lasted about half a year anyway. Somewhere into me spending time with Flex, Snoo-Nose started DMing me again. He said he knew that I would start dating Flex and that he wasn't surprised. I reminded him that Flex was like a brother to me at the time. Snoo-Nose and I were dating and that I never cheated on him. Snoo-Nose shrugged it off and told me that he really wanted to date me again, to give it that other try. He was sorry for how he had treated me and there is no one in the world like me. I, in his words, was perfect for him. And dating me, he could be happy again. I had at this point read many stories about bad exes on Instagram and in manga. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I looked at the Bible of relationship advice. Instagram and manga. I need your knowledge in my time of need. Literal fiction, yeah. And I knew that this was all empty promises. Hey, that's pretty good. I told him I'm not interested and asked him to stop DMing me. Snoo-Nose hadn't lost hope yet and told me that if I wouldn't date him, then he had someone else in mind. Oh yeah? I replied. Have fun then. After 2 to 3 months after that conversation with Snoo-Nose, Ithias, my old friend who had invited me to the guild, DM'd me saying that Asaria was in a relationship that had become Facebook official. I didn't really care. I wasn't really talking to her every day anymore, and that was none of my business. Ithias didn't give up, though. He really, really wanted me to know about the Facebook status. When Ithius looked more into it, he could see that Asaria was in an official... This is in caps lock, by the way. This is in bold. Asaria was in an official Facebook relationship with Snoo-Nose. Good God. Surely this was a mistake. Asaria knew better than to date a friend's ex. We were friends! Ithius told me that this was no mistake, and he sent me a screenshot. I was furious. How could they date? I knew that Snoo-Nose and Asaria had much in common and could easily meet up since they lived 20 minutes apart, but Asaria was a friend. She would never do such a thing to me. In my anger, I wrote half an essay to her on Snapchat. I wanted to know why or how she could do this to me. But as the minutes passed without an answer, I started to feel sad. Aww. No matter if she answered my questions, they were still together. Knowing the reasons would just make me feel worse. Panicking, I decided the best maneuver would to be block her before she would reply. I couldn't care less that Snoo-Nose was dating someone. It doesn't matter. It was her dating him that made me feel sick. At least I warned her that he was going to stop caring for her halfway into the relationship. I did the next logical thing. I logged into WoW and left the guild. I had no reason to stay there. This little drama had torn my small friends group apart. Has it? Why do you think that happened? I can't stop laughing. Like, this is all entirely made up by you. Nothing wrong has even happened. Nothing. Absolutely normal things. And we were not really raiding anymore since we got bored of the first few bosses on normal. Time passes by, of course, though. And every 3 months I ask Ithius if he could check if they are still together on Facebook. Oh my God. Months? Every few months you had someone else snoop a Facebook profile? Every time he would tell me that yes, in fact they are still dating. After the next 4 months I gave up and left them to it. Brava! Brava! I didn't know either of them at that point. I had no reason to be upset about it. I went on in life. Forgot about Asaria. Of all people I've met in my life, Snoo-Nose was the only one I knew that I would not care if he died. Jesus Christ. I don't care if you die. Eventually, I forgot about him too. Let's go forward 2 years. Oh my God, this can't still be happening 2 years later. Let's fast forward 2 years. The 13th of June, 2019 to be exact. I receive a message through Twitch from a guy that somehow discovered my Twitch profile. I have the screenshot. Okay, I'm not revealing the Twitch name. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, 3 dots. But if you would give me a chance to explain, 3 dots, I would do anything for you to let me do it, 3 dots. Just to explain, 3 dots. And then if you don't accept it, I'll move on, 3 dots. That's all I'm asking for is to hear me out, 3 dots. 2 years later, my boy is making a play! God damn! After this, we swapped to Swedish. Oh my God, you give me the translation? Okay. Right, what's Snoo-Nose's voice? Let's think about it. He's a smoker. He's had sex with 28 girls. I was never together with your friend. I just heard of that now. I had to explain in case you thought that. I'm not stupid, Snoo. You were 16 when we started dating. I'm 18 now. Yes, 4 years ago. I haven't had Facebook in 4 years. I haven't laughed this much in ages, Snoo. I mean, that's good. 16 plus 4 equals 18, Snoo. It can't be 2 years. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm 20 now. No? Then why don't you accept 2 years? Ithius and I were laughing our asses off in Discord. I asked him if he still had Asaria's Snapchat. He said he did and sent her a message. Ithius really wanted to know what was up to. He had seen Asaria and Snoonose together on the gram and Snapchat stories. Snoonose was clearly lying. I'm confused too. It's a Swedish to English translation. I could what I'm gathering is Snoonose is pretending that he was never with Asaria. Right? Or he was with her briefly or whatever. And he hasn't even been on Facebook in 4 years. But we know from the gram and Snapchat that ain't true. We've got backsided evidence. Snoonose was clearly not telling the truth. I don't know. I don't want to be a douche to you. Wait, you with Ithius? That guy was in love with you and hated me? Ithius, yeah. I hated you as well. FYI. Snoonose explained that this was a problem. He couldn't have me hating him. That would be horrible, and he couldn't live with himself if he thought I hated him. He refused to tell me why he had contacted me, and I threatened to unfriend him on Twitch as well. The following part may be a bit messy since he and Asaria were both talking to me at the same time. Asaria finally responded saying, "It's true. I dated him, and I regret everything. Don't worry." I sent Snoo the screenshot of this. He was not done talking to me, though. In his mind, he had to win me over, to become friends again, so his soul could be at peace, in his words. I couldn't care less about this man. After everything he pulled, how he had messed with Asaria, I saw an opportunity. I asked him. I had left the guild and a few more afterwards. It had been 2 years, after all. I really wanted to server change to a popular server, because mine was dying. I had no guild left to join. Snoo asked me if I would forgive him for everything he had done and stop hating me if I bought the server transfer for me. I agreed. Snoo, I will forgive you if you buy my server transfer. He later sent me Battle.net currency and I transferred my character. And this was the day. I realised that day that I really didn't give a fuck about him at all. I had no reason to. But I could get money or gold for being, in what I perceived, annoying to guys. And I no longer had any issue doing that. No, don't fall to the dark side. You became a Sith. E-girls do get stuff for free. He could have said no to giving me money. And why should I care about some random guy's future feelings if he gets happy giving me gold? Honestly, it cheered him up to pay for my character transfer. Oh my God. I will point out that after that, though, I blocked him and never talked to Snoonose or Asaria again that day. I don't regret asking for that server transfer, though. I know many of you wouldn't either. I joined a few little guilds on my server until I settled in the current one, which I'm currently an officer. Now I'm taking care of other people's drama instead of creating my own. They're all lovely. I'm 20 now. I've graduated high school and I'm currently studying at university. To all of you worrying about my past dating history with huge age differences, I don't think we were, I'm glad to tell you that my current boyfriend is only 1 month and 3 days older than me. It seems to bother you more than us. Just want to point it out. We've been together 2 years and had a lovely front row seat to when that last guy messaged me. Oh no, yeah. It seems something you're concerned on. Best wishes to you all, Mike, and your chat. Best wishes to you all. Don't turn to the dark side. Come on now. His soul was pained. He had a pained soul. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the end of driver time for this week. And Valentine's Day is on its way. And I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you all have fun if you're not doing anything. Or maybe we'll be around. Maybe we could even do our Super Seducer stream on Saturday. I'll see what Emma's thinking. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. If I'm not around, I'll be back on Monday live. We will have YouTube stuff for you over the weekend. And also, if you are a Twitch subscriber or a supporter on our website or Patreon, please check out the premium video that went up yesterday as well, if you've not had that update. Other than that, have a wonderful weekend, guys. I'm going to go spend some time with my family. I encourage you to do something cool as well. All right? Be good. Bye-bye, everybody.